Stop mistreating Uncle Lou. There was an OBS update this morning, and it took a lot longer to do than I thought it would, so sorry about that. But good to go now.
Destruction leads to a very rough road, but it also breeds creation. An earthquake's out to a girl's guitar, that's just another good vibration. And tidal waves couldn't save the world from California. Hey, our surgeon very well, the bravest spell of raging. Sicker than the rest, there is no
8 hours to get to the Slav Olympics. Well, that's 8 hours for a chance at immortality. And I don't mean immortality like in the biblical sense. I mean immortality and like winning the Slav Olympics. Good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. Yep, that's right. It's me, Uncle Lou, live on LouTube for you. Thanks for watching. This is the morning show. Sorry for the late start today. Came in here, got everything cranked up this morning. There was an OBS update, and it gives you the option to do it or wait till later. And I've been putting it off for like a week, but it usually only takes like 2 or 3 minutes to do, but it took a little longer today, and then I had to restart the computer and blah, blah, blah. So, but anyway, here we are. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's had a good week. Ready to have a good weekend. Got some NFL football coming up this weekend. Divisional playoffs. Yeah, divisional playoffs. And I'm going to get a chance to do something that I wanted to do during the college football season, but did not get a chance to do it. I'm going to get to do that this weekend. I'll be sure and let you know how it goes. What's the most amount of money you would pay for a sporting event? Let's say, I don't know, what's the most amount of money you would pay for a sporting event? Realistically. Let's say let's even say you were a millionaire. Say you're a millionaire. It's the most amount of money you would pay for a sporting event. Savage Dog, more on that in a second. About streaming up the games this weekend. More on that in a second. If I'm on my deathbed, maybe $10K. Most amount of money you would pay for a sporting event. Now, I know how much you all like soccer in here. That's the only reason I'm even mentioning this story today. I know how much you all like soccer. And because you like soccer so much, I'm sure you know who Lionel Messi is and who Cristiano Ronaldo is. There's a debate about which one is better. Is one the greatest of all time? Maybe one's better now than the other, but the other overall has been better, whatever. They're two of the biggest soccer stars in the history of the world. Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo. Right? VIP ticket for Lionel Messi versus Cristiano Ronaldo goes for $2.6 million. That's not what somebody is asking. That's what someone paid. And it's an exhibition game. It's not even a league game or an international game. It's an exhibition game. A football fan, which is, of course, European for soccer, A soccer fan has paid $2.6 million for a VIP ticket to see Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi go head-to-head in Saudi Arabia. The exhibition match at King Fahd International Stadium on Thursday will feature Paris Saint-Germain and Messi. This is a team, Paris Saint-Germain. That's a team. Messi plays for that team. That's his club team. You know, in soccer, you have the country that you play for, like in the World Cup, but then you also have like just a regular team that you're on during soccer seasons. For Messi, it's Paris Saint-Germain. And he's facing a team made up of players from two different Saudi Arabian teams, Al Hilal and Al Nassr. Ronaldo plays for Al Nassr, and he's going to play in this game. Messi versus Ronaldo, $2.6 million someone paid for this ticket. What do you get for your money? Glad you asked. You get a special, quote, beyond imagination ticket for the match, which is auctioned off by the Saudi government. The winner gets an opportunity to meet both Ronaldo and Messi, as well as access to the team dressing rooms and the trophy award after the game. The bidding started at $260,000, but eventually rose to $2.6 million before closing on Wednesday. The two players, considered among the best in history, last featured in the same game during Barcelona's 3-0 Champions League's defeat of Juventus in December 2020. The friendly will also mark Ronaldo's first game since signing a contract worth more than $214 million a year. $214 million a year Cristiano Ronaldo is making to play soccer with a Saudi team, Al Nassr. $2.6 million. $2.6 million. That's alarming. That's alarming. How's everybody doing? Playoff games coming up this weekend. Let's take a look at the schedule. Two games on Saturday. Two games on Sunday. Jacksonville at Kansas City, 4:30 on NBC. Trevor Lawrence versus Patrick Mahomes, right? In that one. New York Giants versus Philadelphia Eagles. Now, that's an interesting game there because that's division rivals. Those two teams don't like each other. The fans don't like each other either. Rare playoff matchup between the Giants and the Eagles, who are in the same division, both in the NFC East. 8:15 on Fox. I think that'll be a good game. I think Kansas City will handle Jacksonville, but I think New York and Philadelphia will be a good game. I'm torn on this New York-Philadelphia game. I want to pull for New York again in honor of my buddy Bad Dog. Giants had a big playoff win last week. I want to pull for the Giants again for Bad Dog, but I also want to pull for Philadelphia because they're loaded with Georgia players, Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. Cincinnati at Buffalo, another great game. I'm going to go with Buffalo in that one because they're the home team. If not, I'd probably go with Cincinnati. If it was in Cincinnati, I'd probably pick Cincinnati, but I'm going to go with Buffalo in that one. Dallas at San Francisco, same thing. I'm going to go with San Francisco. Plus, it's just fun to root against Dallas, isn't it? And why is that? You know, Dallas hasn't been a great team. They've had a few good seasons here and there over the last 25 years. But it's not like they've been a great team over the last 25 years. They've had a good season here and there. But Dallas gets a lot of hate. And I'm not even huge into the NFL, and I even like rooting against Dallas. Why is that? That's at 6:30 on Fox. So I'm going to take San Francisco at home, Buffalo at home, Kansas City at home. You know what? I'm taking all four home teams. God, Now, I won't be mad if I'm wrong on this Giants-Philadelphia pick. I'll be happy for Bad Dog if the Giants win. I will. But I'm taking all 4 home teams. Now, can somebody explain to me why everyone hates Dallas? Oh, I know who can explain it to me. Vic, explain to me why everyone hates the Dallas Cowboys. Vic, why are there people who weren't even alive the last time Dallas won a Super Bowl?
Hates the Dallas.
There's people who weren't even alive the last time Dallas won a Super Bowl. They still hate Dallas. Why? You're an NFL man. Why? Explain it to me, Vic.
It's because
Are you on some kind of a weird delay or what?
The internet tells them to.
Oh, the internet tells them to. I got you.
What the hell?
You're on some kind of weird delay. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know. But you're saying the internet tells them to hate Dallas. Okay. Which is also weird because the internet wasn't even around when Dallas was like really good in the 90s. But for some reason, Vic's having technical difficulties. It looks like you should see how he's straining to figure this out. Let's see. I'll let y'all enjoy this too. Vic's in the process of figuring things out. Look at him. Oh, man. You think Vic's headphones is the reason those glasses broke? I bet you those glasses are broke because of Vic's headphones.
Well, my headphones are connected, so.
No, I know. I said your glasses are broken. Is it because of the headphones? I'm asking.
Yeah, I know.
What's going on?
I'm still hearing an echo for some reason.
Yeah, you're on a really bad delay.
Hearing myself twice.
You're on a really bad delay too. Did you try taping them together?
No.
Do you think maybe you should try that?
Yeah, let's see. I muted the YouTube, so. Okay.
How we doing?
Trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Let's see. All right, let's see. So I closed YouTube. Is it still doing it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't hear the echo. I just noticed that you're on a really big delay. It's like taking you like 8 seconds to answer me when I ask you a question. What if you leave StreamYard and then come back in?
Maybe I should just leave the StreamYard and come back.
Yeah, try that. Give me a 1 in the chat if you think it's going to work when Vic comes back in. Give me a 2 in the chat if you're not so sure. 1 if you think it'll work. 2 if you're not so sure about that. It's about 50-50 between the ones and the twos. We'll see. Hopefully, for Vic's sake, it gets figured out, because Vic looks like he was a little bit perturbed. It looked like Vic was getting a little bit perturbed there. And trust me, that's the last thing we want. The last thing we want is for Vic to be a little bit perturbed. While we're waiting on Vic to come back into the StreamYard, back to the NFL playoffs real quick, which I still want him to explain why everyone hates Dallas. I'm gonna stream the Dallas and San Francisco game. This is an old school rivalry game here. These teams back in the 90s play a lot in the playoffs. I paid a lot more attention to the NFL back then than I do now, but this was a great game to watch every year back in the day. I'm going to watch this one. I'm going to watch them all, but I'm going to live stream Dallas and San Francisco. So that's my plan for the live streaming this weekend. It'll be on the Patreon page. Because not very many people care about the NFL. They're mostly here for the college stuff. And during the off season, I try to do a few live streams on the Patreon page. To be honest with you, the reason I do the live streams on the Patreon page in the off season is just to try to keep people on the Patreon, keep people from leaving Patreon in the off season. So we try to do things on the Patreon page every once in a while in the off season. So maybe the following weekend, the conference championship weekend, the AFC championship game and the NFC championship game, I'll stream both those games, and I'll do one on Patreon and one on YouTube. But this weekend, I'm just going to do the one, Dallas and San Francisco, 6:30 Sunday night, live stream on the Patreon page. Remember, even if you hate the NFL, that's fine. Come hang out on the stream. We can talk college football while we watch the NFL, while we watch Dallas and San Francisco. So even if you hate the college football thing and you're on the Patreon page, come hang out with us. Also, I'm going to be resetting the mods on the main channel. So even if you don't care about the game or the Patreon stream, but you're on the Patreon, make sure you at least pop in and make a comment or two so that I can mod you up on that Patreon stream, because we'll be resetting all the mods before I go live for that Patreon stream. So there you go. That's the announcement on that. I still have to tell you what it is I'm doing this weekend that I wanted to do at some point during the college football season, but was unable to do. Well, it's not that I was unable to do it, it's that I just didn't do it. But I am doing it this weekend, and I'll tell you what that is here in a few minutes. But it looks like Vic is back for no particular reason. Let's see how this does, and did this fix Vic's problem? Good morning, Vic.
Yeah, good morning.
How's it sounding over on your end now?
Good. Yeah, I think what the problem was is that it was playing through my that YouTube was playing through my phone, so I had to go ahead and turn off Bluetooth on my phone, so it's working fine now.
I got you. So you were listening to the show through YouTube instead of through StreamYard. That's what was causing the delay.
No, it was both actually, but yeah. Okay, but anyway. So basically, yeah, people don't like the Cowboys because the internet tells them to, because apparently it's fun to laugh at the Cowboys because they haven't won anything since 1995. They won the Super Bowl, but ever since then they've never won more than one playoff game.
So that's why everybody hates the Cowboys, because they're not any good?
Well, because it's not that they're not any good. It's because they always choke. So. Oh,
that's why everyone hates them.
Yeah, in the playoffs.
Who's the most hated team in college football?
Probably Georgia.
Yeah, and then it was Alabama for a while. So it's always the team that's winning all the time that's the most hated.
Georgia or
Alabama. Yeah, so why is it in the NFL it's the team that's always losing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Would you agree that the Cowboys are the most hated team in the NFL?
No.
Who is?
Probably the Tampa Bay, probably, because they have Tom Brady. So, and he's the most hated player in the NFL.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I do think he's the most hated player, which is weird. Let me ask you this.
Before that, it was the Patriots.
Yeah, that's now who's the most hated player in the NBA?
Probably LeBron.
Yeah, you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Now, back in my day, Vic, people didn't hate the best player in the league. People didn't hate Michael Jordan. You know who hated Michael Jordan? Isaiah Thomas, because he couldn't beat him. But, like, just the general public loved Michael Jordan. So why now do they hate all these great players, you think? Like Stetson Bennett. Why do people hate Stetson Bennett? Because he's the greatest college football player. That's why. Same reason they hate LeBron. Same reason they hate Tom Brady.
Haters gonna hate.
That should be my next video. That should be next week's Stetson Bennett video. Comparing Stetson Bennett to Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Tom Brady. And that's why people hate him. Because just like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Tom Brady, Stetson Bennett is also the greatest player of his generation.
Right. So it's kind of like the whole, they hate us because they ain't us.
Right.
Yeah, are you zooming in on my microphone?
Why would I be doing that?
Because when I look over on YouTube, I see that I'm like super zoomed in.
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm doing.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're zoomed in on my mouth.
I'm not zoomed in on your microphone. It's just that it's so big. It just makes it look that way.
Oh, okay, because it's so big.
Yeah. It's like an optical illusion in that.
Oh, okay. You're zooming in on my Star Wars poster. They're zooming in on my bathroom. Hey, you want me to turn the light on in there so y'all can see it better?
No, it's more mysterious when it's dark.
Oh, okay.
It's much more mysterious that way. Oh, there you are. Looks like looks like you finally got your camera situation figured out. That's good.
Yeah, looks like it. Yeah.
Only took you 10 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, it took me about 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. Well, I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. Why everyone hates Stetson Bennett.
me
The
too.
same reason they hate
Yeah,
LeBron and Tom Brady.
What type? Hold on, Slim Shady wants to know what kind of toilet paper do I use? I use Cottonelle.
I'm writing down this Stetson Bennett idea so I don't forget it. All right. There we go. You know what's funny about these Stetson Bennett videos I'm doing? Well, besides everything.
What?
So for 2 years, I've been pissing off everybody that loves Stetson Bennett by telling the truth about him, which is like 50% of the people. Well, now I'm pissing off the other 50% of the people by saying he's the greatest of all time. And now the rest of them are in the comments getting mad now. You know, some Alabama fan left me some paragraph about A.J. McCarron yesterday.
Oh yeah, I've heard that some people were comparing him to AJ McCarron.
Yeah, well, both won. That was the last two QBs to win back-to-back natties. So, yeah, shout out to Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, so
Then
you
become a Twitter
remember when you said I think this was back in like 2020 or 2021, you said that either Stetson Bennett is the best quarterback on our team or he's not and he's starting for some other reason, and both are unacceptable.
Yeah. Yeah, but now he's the greatest quarterback of all time, so.
Yes, that's right.
I mean, I think that's pretty obvious.
That's right, yeah.
The problem is not everyone knows that why I'm making those videos, so they think I'm serious.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Not everybody knows I have to do that once a week until next season.
Yeah.
Because they weren't paying attention to the live stream.
That's right, you do. That's right. And you have made one every week so far.
Yeah.
You made one last week and you made one this week.
Yeah, and people keep leaving me comments that say, what happened to you doing Stetson Bennett videos? I'm like, what do you mean? I guess what happened is you're not watching. I guess that's what happened, dummy.
Yeah, you're still doing Stetson Bennett videos.
I mean, I'm not going to title every video Stetson Bennett's the greatest quarterback of all time because then people won't click on it. I'm going to title it something else. But then in the video, I will be sure and mention that Stetson Bennett's the greatest quarterback of all time. So, and I've done that. So,
yes.
I've done that.
Stetson is poor man's A.J. McCarron. No, you've got it all wrong. A.J. McCarron is poor man's Stetson Bennett.
Should we compare the stats?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. A.J. McCarron. $389 yards, 2,600 yards, 2,900 yards, 3,000 yards.
Okay.
So he never had more than 3,000 yards.
Okay.
Passing.
Right.
That was his best season, 3,000 yards passing.
Right.
Rushing yards guess the rushing yards for his career.
Like 105.
Negative 50.
Negative 50. Wow.
Negative 50 rushing yards he had for his career.
Wow. And how many does Stetson have?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's look. Stetson Bennett stats. Okay. Stetson Bennett had 4,127 yards passing.
Okay.
With 27 pass touchdowns. McCarron in his best year had 30 passing touchdowns. That was his best year. He had 30.
Okay.
So he did have 3 more passing touchdowns, but he had 1,200 less yards.
Okay, and then what about rushing yards?
All right. Rushing yards, Stetson Bennett in his career, 530. And in his best year, he had 10. So he had, which was this year. So 2022, he had 4,100 passing yards, 27 passing touchdowns, 200 rushing yards, 10 rushing touchdowns. So that's 37 touchdowns he had.
Boom. Boom.
So, yeah, it does appear as though A.J. McCarron is a poor man's Stetson Bennett, not the other way
There you
around.
go.
Yep. A.J.
Facts.
McCarron is dollar store Stetson Bennett. That's just a fact.
Yeah, so I think that AJ McCarron is a lot like Jake Fromm, right?
I can also confirm that A.J. McCarron never won 15 games in a season. I can confirm that.
Yeah.
So let's see here. He was there 2011 and 2012. They won the Natty. He won 12 games in 2011 and 13 games. 13 games. Yeah, 12 games in 2011, 13 games in 2012. Which is both those numbers are less than 15. Now, even in Stetson Bennett's worst year as a full-time starter, which was last year, he won 14 games.
Yep.
So in Stetson's worst year, he won more games than A.J. McCarron did in his best year.
Yep.
So it would appear as though A.J. McCarron is indeed off-brand Stetson Bennett.
Yep.
There's really no arguing or debating that, which we already knew because Stetson Bennett's greatest quarterback in the history of history. So not a surprise to me that he's better than A.J. McCarron. So all during the football, really going back to last summer, I wanted to go to Cherokee and watch college football games in the sports book up there. I just feel like it would be, because besides the 2 times this season where I lost my mind, when I bet on games, I don't usually bet a lot of money. The reason I usually bet on a game is to make it more interesting for me to watch. That's usually why I bet on a game. So especially when it comes to the NFL, if I'm betting on a game, it's to make it interesting to watch to me. But so the idea of going to Cherokee, or really anywhere that has a sports book, it just happens Cherokee's the closest. The idea of going to somewhere like that and watching football games in a room filled with people who all have money on the game, it has always sounded exciting to me.
Yep.
Because if I know people get excited when they're cheering for their own team to win because they're a fan of their team.
Right.
It pales in comparison to cheering for your money, though. People go nuts when there's money on the line. And I didn't get a chance to do that during the college season. So I'm doing it this weekend. I'm going to drive up to Cherokee, and I'm going to watch the Saturday games in the sports book at Cherokee. Your thoughts on that, Vic?
Yeah, sounds like that would be fun. Yeah.
And do you want me to place a bet for you on any of the Saturday, either of the, there's 2 games on Saturday. Do you want me?
Are you gonna? Are you gonna go up there this weekend?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
So I've just always thought it would be fun to watch football games in a sports book with hundreds of people who have money on the game. So that's what I'm going to do on Saturday.
Yeah.
There's 2 games on Saturday. Now the 2 games are Jacksonville at Kansas City and New York at Philadelphia. So let's look at the odds, and you can tell me what the winners are, because you're smarter than me in pretty much every way imaginable, but particularly when it comes to the NFL. So even though I did pick every game right last weekend, Vic, did you?
No.
Okay, never mind what I just said then. I didn't pick them against the spread, though. I mean, I just picking the winners of last weekend's playoff games. I picked the winner in every one. Okay, so Kansas City is at home against Jacksonville. Kansas City's an 8.5-point favorite. Now, for those of you who pay a lot more attention to college football than you do the NFL, In college, you see lines all the time. A team will be favored by 15, 20, 30, 35, and all that. You don't see that in the NFL. In fact, you rarely see a double-digit spread in the NFL. The worst team in the NFL playing the best team in the NFL, if the worst team is at home, it might be a 10-point spread. You rarely see spreads in the double digits in the NFL. So 8.5 in a playoff game is high. But Kansas City's favored by 8.5 at home over Jacksonville. What do you think about that game, Vic?
Well, yeah, I think that the Chiefs will win, but I think I would take Jacksonville to cover.
Yeah. So are you a believer in Trevor Lawrence in that?
Yeah, but I think I'm a bigger believer in Patrick Mahomes. But
Yeah. A lot of experience, a lot of playoff experience on that Chiefs team too.
yeah,
Not so much for the Jags.
yeah.
Pretty much, they've been in the toilet bowl for a while. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how's our boy Trayvon Walker doing for the Jags?
He's doing good.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Yeah. Doing good. So you like the Chiefs to win, but the Jags to cover.
Yeah.
Now, do you want me to bet that for you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right. I'll put a bet on that game for you.
Yeah.
Here, I'll tell you what I'll do. Because you come on this show every Thursday. You don't have to. You don't ask for nothing. Here's what I'll do. Here's what I'll do for you. I'm going to put $50 on Jacksonville for you. Okay?
Okay.
If it wins, I'll send you the whole thing, which will be like $95.
Okay.
If you lose, I'm not going to send you anything. I just
Okay.
place a $50 bet for you. Or do you like the other game better? The New York Giants on the road at Philadelphia. Philadelphia's favored by 7.5. You can choose whichever of these two games you want me to bet for you, but I'm going to put a $50 bet on one of these games for you.
Okay. Yeah. Put me on the Jags 8.5
All right.
plus 8.5. Yeah.
All right. Give us your thoughts on this Giants-Eagles game, though. Rivalry game, right?
Let's see.
This
Well, I
would
do
be
think-
like if the Falcons were playing the Saints in the playoffs, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
Let's see. Giants and Eagles. Well, Well, yeah, I think I would take the Eagles to win. I think I'd also take them to cover the 7.5. So
Yeah. That makes sense. You think the Eagles will win and cover.
yeah,
You think the Chiefs will beat the Jags, but the Jags will cover.
yeah.
I got you. That makes sense to me. But I'm going to put your bet on the Jags to cover.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha. I like that. Let's see. What if I bet them both? Now, I'll bet them both for you if you want. Let's see what that would do for you. Football,
Yeah, what would that do?
NFL. All right, let's see. If you take the Jags to cover and the Eagles to cover
Uh-huh.
on a 2-team parlay
Mm-hmm.
at $50,
Uh-huh.
you will win 130.
Oh.
But you know how a parlay works. You got to get them both right. It's all or nothing.
Yeah.
You go 1-1, you lose it all.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you want to do? Do you want to press your luck? No whammies? Or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll go with the with the 50 for both underdogs to cover. Yeah.
Now, a minute ago, you said the Eagles were going to cover.
Okay. I can do that. Okay. So I guess I don't have to take both underdogs.
No, you can take any whatever you want. You can take the Jags to cover or the Chiefs to cover in that game, and you can take the Giants to cover or the Eagles to cover in that game. You can take whatever you want. It's your bet. I'm just making the bet for you because I'll be up in Cherokee. I'll make the bet for you. Eagles are favored by 7.5. The Chiefs are favored by 8.5.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the Jaguars and the Eagles to cover.
All right. Jaguars to cover and the Eagles. So one underdog, one favorite. I got you. All right. Good luck, Vic. Good luck. If for some reason the lines change a lot before Saturday, I'll text you or call you or something Saturday and make sure that's still what you want to do.
Okay. Yeah, so now Hufflepuff Paw says parlays are dangerous, but dang so satisfying when they hit.
Yeah, parlays are a sucker's bet. You know who loves parlays? The casino.
The casino.
Yeah, or your bookie or whatever you use. They love it when you bet parlays.
Yeah, I guess the Cherokees love parlays.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. We'll see. Cherokee, Cody. I don't. The one in Murphy. No, I don't go to the one in Murphy. All right, Chunky Nothing. Good to see you in here. Papadon says, "Where's my new host?" There is a new host coming to the show. There's been a slight delay on lining that up, but it is coming soon. I promise you.
A slight delay.
Yeah. Have I told you about this, Vic?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a slight delay on that. Oh, speaking of slight delay, finished rewatching Game of Thrones yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Finished rewatching Game of Thrones yesterday. Yeah. Just as good as it was. It's just as good as when I watched it originally. And the last episode is just as disappointing as it was when I watched the last episode the first time. So I haven't changed my mind on Game of Thrones now that I've gone back and watched it a second time years later. I have not changed my mind. Still one of the greatest shows of all time. Still a very unsatisfying ending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unsatisfying ending.
If you haven't seen Game of Thrones and you're planning on watching it sometime soon and you don't want to know anything at all about it, click off the video now. Come back in like 5 minutes because I'm fixing to talk about the ending of Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your warning. I'll give you 10 seconds to click off the video. What time is it? It's 8:58. I promise I'll be done talking about Game of Thrones by 9:05.
Right. Well, I already know. Right. Well, I already know what happens.
Okay, so you can stay on then with me.
Well, I never watched Game of Thrones, but I did hear about how it ended.
Okay. So all right, I'm going to start now. So click off if you don't want to know anything about the ending of Game of Thrones. Okay, so here's what bothers me. There's a few things that bother me about the ending of Game of Thrones. Number one, it's very unsatisfying to me the way that Cersei Lannister died. She should have been murdered by someone, and that someone should have been Arya. Now, I know Arya got her big moment or whatever when she killed the White Walker in like episode 3 of the final season, and that was great too. But even if it wasn't going to be Arya, someone should have got to murder Cersei Lannister. The fact that she just died by a rock falling on her head is not justice. I mean, I spent 8 years of my life hating that bitch. I hated her almost as much, maybe even the same as I hated Gemma Teller from Sons of Anarchy. Someone should have gotten the satisfaction of being able to kill Cersei. She should not have died laying down in the arms of her incestual lover, her brother, Jaime, and just a rock falling on her. That is not, she did not deserve to die in that way. Someone should have carved her up. Someone should have killed her. It should have been brutal.
Mm-hmm.
They robbed me of the satisfaction of getting to watch someone kill her, and they robbed a character of the satisfaction of getting to do it. I didn't like that. I don't like the whole King Bron the Broken shit at the end. I appreciate Bron for what he did, but the guy spent 8 years in a wheelchair, not really doing anything other than being able to see into the past. Like, I didn't like that he became king. I didn't like that at all. I would much rather Tyrion or even Jon Snow, which of course is really, now this is a big spoiler here. Don't listen to this if you haven't seen it. But of course, Jon Snow is really Aegon Targaryen. You don't find that out to the end, but it should have been Jon Snow. Okay, if it wasn't going to be Jon Snow, make it Tyrion, make it Arya. I didn't like that it was Bronn the Broken in a wheelchair as king. I didn't like that.
I liked that.
Well, of course you did. It's got nothing to do with the fact that he was in a wheelchair. He wasn't, to me, he was just a boring character. I mean, I know he played a big role in saving humanity or whatever at the end because he was able to see into the past, but
yeah, there you go.
He just wasn't the type of character that over all 8 years of the show, like when I sat down to turn the show on, I was like, man, I can't wait to see what they're doing with the Bron storyline today. Bran the Broken. I didn't like that. So I didn't like the way Cersei died. I didn't like that Bran became king at the end. I didn't like that Jon Snow was forced to basically start all over where he did in season 1, back on the fucking wall at the Night's Watch, and there's nothing even to guard against anymore because they killed all the damn White Walkers. I didn't like that. So the ending to me was just very unsatisfying. I didn't like it. I didn't like that Sansa demanded her independence in the North and was then crowned Queen of the North at the end. I didn't like that because I don't like Sansa. And it's disappointing that there were so many things at the end of that show that left me unsatisfied because the show, I felt like, did a great job the first 7.5 seasons of eventually giving you everything you hoped was going to happen. Like, there were things happening in season 1 and season 2 that made you go, man, I hope this happens to that character. And maybe you had to wait a year or two, but it fucking happened eventually. And it was fulfilling. But the end just felt empty to me. And I remember when the show was airing in real time, the last season, there was a lot of controversy that the last season was rushed. You remember the last season? Okay, every season was 10 episodes long, except for the next to the last season, which was only, I think, 7 episodes long. And then the last season was only 6 episodes long. So it was like they just said, fuck it, we're tired of this shit. We're not, just put this out. Just put this 6 episodes out and call it a day. It seemed a little rushed.
Yeah, they said, like Tennille says, they basically said, let's wrap this shit up.
Exactly, Tennille. Yeah, that's how it felt. And you have to remember, a lot of people have never done this. Depending, if you're young enough, you've never done this. But watching a show, a great show, and then the episode ends, and you got to wait 7 days to watch the next episode. Because everything is binged now and released all at once, usually. And so for 8 years, people were watching an episode, waiting a week, watching another episode. Then the season would end. You'd have to wait 9 months, for the beginning of the next season. People had a lot of time invested in this thing. And it just seemed like the ending, like almost every character, the ending wasn't what I wanted for hardly any character at all. Like I thought so Jon Snow killing Daenerys. Okay, now I love Daenerys during the whole show, but she did turn into a problem at the end. She had to go at the end. She had to go. She basically turned into her father at the very end. She had to go. And I like how they handled that.
She had to go.
Yeah, she had to go. She had to get stabbed in the heart and die. So that's what happened. But I didn't like. I didn't like the way they wrapped up a lot of the other characters. I didn't like it at all. Overall, it's still a great show, and it's definitely worth watching for anybody that hasn't seen Game of Thrones. It is an unbelievable show. And, of course, they have a prequel that's already out. Season 1 has already aired, House of the Dragon. So I'll watch that now. And I found out yesterday, another spinoff is in the works for Game of Thrones. This one is going to take place immediately after the events of the last episode of Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to be called Snow.
Snow.
And the same guy that plays Jon Snow was going to be in it. So it's basically going to be the story of Jon Snow after the events of Game of Thrones when he gets sent back to the wall. Okay. He gets sent back to the Night
Jon Snow.
Yeah, and he gets sent back to the Night Watch. Now, I don't know how much the other main characters will return for this sequel, but I'm sure some of them at least will make cameo appearances. Like, I really hope they can get Peter Dinklage in on the deal.
Right, yeah.
He's great in that. The midget type individual.
Yeah.
He's great in that show. He's great in that show. I wouldn't have had any problem at all with him making him king at the end.
Yeah.
I understand why they didn't do it because of his last name, Lannister, but I would have had no problem with that.
Yeah.
Arya's a complete badass. I'd have had no problem with him making her queen.
Yeah, so I've seen some highlights of Game of Thrones on YouTube, but yeah.
It's a great show.
Right, but I've never watched a whole episode.
Yeah.
But I have seen some highlights, but
And I'm not a lot of people I feel like don't watch Game of Thrones because it's about dragons and Middle Ages and what people would consider like a fantasy type genre, and they're not into that. I'm not into that shit either. I'm not into all the Comic-Con shit and dragons and all that. I'm not into that either. But it's an amazing show. You don't have to be into that kind of thing to enjoy that. It's just a great show. It really is a great show, despite the last 30 minutes, which I thought were terrible. Probably the thing that made me the most mad was the way Cersei Lannister died. Someone should have got to kill her. I didn't like that. She basically got to lay down on the ground with Jaime, and just the building collapsed on her. I didn't like that at all. That was probably the worst.
So why did the building collapse?
Because the Daenerys, the Dragon Queen, rode the dragon through the city and burned everything down.
Okay, so a dragon kills her.
Well, yeah, basically.
Okay.
I loved what they did with the Hound in the mountain at the end. The great fight they had at the end, and Hound basically pushes the mountain through the wall. It collapses, and they fall into a pit of fire. I thought that was great because the Hound, of course, was scared of fire his whole life because of what happened when he was a child and the whole thing. So how they both died, I didn't have a problem. I didn't want to see the Hound die, but if he was going to die, that was the perfect way for him to die at the end. So I liked that. So it's not that I didn't like anything about the ending, but there was too many things about the ending that I didn't like. So there you go. That's my synopsis on Game of Thrones. But it's worth watching. It's like you don't have to be in a motorcycle gang to enjoy Sons of Anarchy. Yeah. And you don't have to be into science fiction or fantasy novels or dragons or Comic-Con to enjoy Game of Thrones. It's that good of a show. It's that good. So there you go. That's that. And then give me a few weeks, and I'll give you my synopsis on House of the Dragon, season 1, which I'll be watching starting probably next week. So, to those of you in the chat who have seen House of the Dragon, no spoilers, please. But if I were to rate Game of Thrones a 9 out of 10, where would you rate House of the Dragon? Is House of the Dragon just as good as Game of Thrones? I can't imagine it's better. But I'm giving Game of Thrones a 9 out of 10 just in case there's somebody that thinks House of the Dragon is better. They can give it a 10. How much, if it's not as good, how much worse is it? 7, 4, 9.
9.
Wow, all over the spectrum there.
Yeah, Slim says it's hard for him to watch shows that are not, kid friendly. So.
Oh yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Because he's got young kids.
Yeah.
So.
Nature Boy says it's really good. House of the Dragon bandwagon fan. Actually, there isn't going to be any burper. Is this supposed to rain today?
Yeah.
Seems like earlier in
like
the week they were telling me it was going to rain,
like
but
it.
maybe no, it's not. I don't know.
Looks like it might rain. I mean, it's cloudy here. Yeah, looking like it might rain.
Rain possible around 10:15. It says here. What does that mean? Is it rain always possible?
I think it's starting to rain. Well, it's sprinkling, but yeah.
Oh, it is going to rain here. Only this morning, though, it looks like.
Yeah, it's spring. Yeah, it's sprinkling here.
Uh-oh. Well, if you need to get off and take cover, you just do what you need to do.
I'm inside. So.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
So I don't need to take cover.
All right. Yeah, I want to watch The Last of Us too, but I don't do the week-to-week thing. So same reason I didn't watch House of the Dragon as it was coming out. I'm not doing the week-to-week thing. So
all right, so you're gonna wait till it all comes out.
Well, at least season by season. So yeah, like I won't wait on 8 seasons of House of the Dragon to watch it. But now that the first season is completely done, I'll sit down and watch the first season, and that's what I'll end up doing with The Last of Us. I'm not going to watch The Last of Us a few days ago and then wait a week and then watch episode 2 and then wait a week and watch episode 3. I mean, it's 2023, Vic. I'm not doing that. No one should be. In fact, no one should be doing that. That's the only way you're going to get these people to stop. It's 2023. Put all the episodes out. Let me sit down and watch them all at one time if that's what I want to do. So. I get so damn I get mad. Oh, Vic, do you know what my favorite call-in show is?
What besides the one that you do?
Oh, that's not even anywhere close to my favorite.
Okay, is it the Rob and Kale show?
Yes, the Carolina Jackpot call-in show every Wednesday and Sunday night at 9. Did you happen to be listening to that yesterday?
Yeah.
It was great because 3 people called in and told Carolina Jackpot to come to the Slav Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you called. I think Pete called, and
Sir UJ called first.
oh, okay, right.
Sir UJ called and basically browbeat him and said, "Look, you need to come to the Slav Olympics. It's a lot of fun. This is when it is." That whole deal. And Jackpot was like, "Oh well, I really want to come, but it's just bad timing. My anniversary is 2 weeks later, and we're planning an anniversary trip, and yada yada yada." So then 10 minutes later, I called in, and basically as soon as he answered the phone, I said, "Hey, you know where a great place to do an anniversary trip is? Isle of Palm, South Carolina, March 3rd through 5th."
Yeah.
And then Pete called in and browbeat him again, and
Right.
I think
So actually, yeah.
Jackpot
Pete
did eventually
actually
say he
got
was
a
going.
promise.
Yeah,
He
Pete,
said,
yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah. So hopefully that ends up being true.
Yeah.
And guess
So he
what's going to
does it.
happen on Jackpot's show on Sunday night?
What?
More people are going to call in and ask him about the Slob Olympics. I hope.
Okay,
Look,
but he already
even if y'all
said he's
normally
going,
don't,
so-
doesn't matter. We got to stay on him about it. People say a lot of things, Vic.
Mhm.
Remember when him said he was coming for 2 years in a row.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they
sure.
always say
I
they're
remember
coming.
that, Yeah.
Him and
Yeah,
they
him,
and
oh,
him,
him
they,
and
them
they.
always say they're coming, but then they never do.
Yeah.
So
Is
we got to
Slita
stay
coming
on
to
him.
Slob Olympics? No, Slita is not coming to Slob Olympics.
So even if y'all don't normally watch the Jackpot call-in show, which I don't know why you wouldn't, it's amazing. He does it Wednesday and Sunday night at 9. Even if you don't normally watch this Sunday if you can. If you can't, then watch next Wednesday. But not only watch, also once he starts taking phone calls, and it's a phone number. It's not like mine and Pete's show where it's a StreamYard link. It is an actual phone number that they put up on the screen. Yep. When they put the number up, go ahead and give him a call and ask him about the Slob Olympics. That would be a good idea, I think.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Slob Olympics is like the regular Olympics, except it matters and it happens every year. That's the only difference. Who said that? SEC football says, what is Slob Olympics? The Slob Olympics is just like the regular Olympics, except that the Slob Olympics matters and it happens every year. Back when Rob had his AM show, he said he wants to meet me for a beer and then fight me. I think y'all should fight first and then do the beer.
Yeah.
You know, because then you can kind of sit down and talk about the fight over a beer. Yeah, I think that would be better if you did it in that order. But it's up to y'all. Yeah, see, it takes regular Olympians 4 years to recover just to be able to do it again. Not the slobs. It only takes us 12 months to recover. We're ready to do it every year. So we're ready to do it every year. So
Yeah.
yeah, can we get some Jermaine Burton energy in the chat about AD Mitchell, please?
Yeah.
I have a list. I know what all of you said about Jermaine Burton, so I want y'all to type right now everything you said about Jermaine Burton, but take out Jermaine Burton and add in AD Mitchell. Okay, go.
Yeah, start. Yeah.
Let's start with Kirby's visor. If you're in here, you've been calling Jermaine Burton every name in the book for 13 months. Let's get in here with that same energy. I want to hear what trash and shit that AD Mitchell is and how he's not any good and scared to compete. He's just a quitter. And he knows he wouldn't get any snaps next year at UGA. That's why he left. I want to hear all that from all of you who've spent 13 months dogging Jermaine Burton. So, yep. The biggest difference between AD Mitchell leaving and Jermaine Burton leaving is that Jermaine Burton was our leading wide receiver when he left, and AD Mitchell had like 5 catches all year. That's the difference.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's kind of like our version of Jackson Smith-Njigba, right? Except the only difference is he actually played in the playoffs. But you know, I mean, like he was on a milk carton all year, right?
who?
AD Mitchell.
Yeah, he had like an ankle sprain that took
Yes, that's why
11
I was
weeks
saying
to
that
recover
he was,
from.
That's why I was saying that he was kind of like Jackson Smith-Njigba. The difference is he actually played in the playoffs. So
I mean, I want to hear people come in here and tell me that AD Mitchell is transferring because he's scared of Ra Smith. That's what we were hearing last year. Oh well, Jermaine Burton's leaving because he's scared of Lad McConkey.
mm-hmm.
You know,
And Brock Bowers.
and Brock Bowers. So I just want the same energy. Now, if you came in here and said I don't blame Jermaine Burton. He wants to go to the NFL, so he feels like he can do that better at Bama that he can. Georgia, I hate to lose him, but I understand. Then you can come in here and say that about A.D. Mitchell.
Right. Well, I just typed in the chat that we don't need him, but
Okay, is that what you said about Burton?
no, I didn't. Well, no, I never said that. I'm just doing that just to make fun of the people who do say that. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm just trolling. Yeah.
Both Burton and Mitchell are a result of the Bowers effect. So Georgia wide receivers want to leave because of Bowers, but Smith and Lovett want to come to UGA because of Bowers.
I don't know.
Make it make sense, Vic.
I guess A.D. Mitchell is scared of Rah Thomas and Dominic Lovett.
Well, no, they're saying they're scared of Brock Bowers. He says Burton and Mitchell left as a result of Brock Bowers. So I'm trying to figure out how come Georgia wide receivers are leaving because of Brock Bowers, but other wide receivers are wanting to come to Georgia. It's weird. Burton left for a valid reason. Didn't pan out as well as he thought, though. Well, he had more yards receiving and more touchdowns this season at Alabama than he ever had at Georgia. So are you sure it didn't work out? Or pan out? Well, both years Georgia has won it all. Bowers got the looks. Well, A.D. Mitchell's played in 4 playoff games, and he scored a touchdown in every single one. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah. Lad McConkey said he was returning for his senior season. Well, I mean, McConkey has to come back anyway. So.
Well, he was
McConkey and
he was a red shirt.
Yeah,
he could have gone pro.
He was a sophomore. Okay.
He didn't play his freshman year.
I thought he was a freshman.
No, A.D. Mitchell's a true sophomore. Lad McConkey's a redshirt sophomore.
Okay. I thought he was a freshman last year.
Yeah, well, he was, but he was a redshirt freshman.
What about Brock Bowers? Wasn't he a true freshman?
Yeah, he's a true sophomore this year. He'll be a true junior next year.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got Brock and Lad coming back. So
AD's son live in Texas, so that's why he's leaving. Legit reason. So do you have a list of reasons that are not legit? Tell me the reasons that aren't legit. Why is Rah Smith leaving Mississippi State to come to Georgia? Tell me what his reason is and if you think it's legit.
Okay. So why does his son live in Texas when he lives in Georgia?
Well, because he's from Texas.
Okay.
And I don't know if he went home there. I don't know that situation.
Okay, right.
Yeah, I don't know that situation.
So I guess his son is living with his baby mama in Texas.
Jay says, I heard AD's son lives in Tennessee. Yeah, I don't know anything about his son or his son's situation. I've heard that mentioned, that he has a son in Texas and that's why he wants to go there. But I didn't even know he had a kid until 2 days ago. So I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I don't know if it's 100% true, partly true, not true at all. I've got no idea.
Does he even have a kid? I don't know.
How many teams have three-peated excluding Ivy League teams? 1, Minnesota. In the 30s.
Yeah, Cadillac says A.D. Mitchell is leaving because he wants to pursue his far-left political views.
Well, you can do that at any university.
Right.
All universities are left of center, except for maybe some of the religious ones.
Yeah.
He's leaving because he fucking can. He ain't under contract. That's a fact.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, entering the portal doesn't mean he's off the team yet. Yeah, that is true.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Jay says you can find baby mamas in every state.
Oh, okay.
Tripp says he's chasing the bag more than likely. Yeah, anytime you lose a player, it's because the other team was tampering and they paid him a bunch of money. But if someone transfers to UGA, it's because they're an amazing human being and just want to win and be part of a team. Right?
Right.
Does Tennessee lose to a terrible Florida team next season? Right now, if I had to pick that game, I'd pick Tennessee, even though it's in Gainesville. I think Florida's in for a rough year.
Right. Well, Tennessee didn't lose to a Florida team this year.
No.
So.
Lou, do you see Georgia going undefeated in the regular season when potential loss is Tennessee? I think it's more like, I think there's an over a 50% chance that Georgia goes 12-0 in the regular season. Maybe it's a 51% chance because, I mean, anything can happen in any week. You can have an off week and get beat by Mizzou like we almost did this year. And like you mentioned, the game at Tennessee.
Yeah.
I'm also here. Look, I'm concerned too. When you look at the schedule, I don't know if we'll. I don't know if we'll ever know why Georgia kind of slept walk through a 4 or 5 week period. I mean, there's some obvious, this just look at the teams we were playing type of argument. But if that's the case, then look at Georgia's first 6 games. So they could lose one. I mean, look, we could lose to South Carolina. If the South Carolina game for some reason ends up being at noon, we could lose that if we just show up with the whole all we got to do is roll the ball out on the field and we're going to win attitude, which is what we did in a lot of games last year. I don't think, we're way better than South Carolina. Of course we are. Just like we're way better than Mizzou. We're more than 10 points better than Kentucky. But if we, so if you think it was hard for Georgia to get up for every game this year, don't you think it will be maybe even harder next year? And everywhere you look already, what are people talking about when they talk about Georgia next year? Oh, look at his schedule. Worst schedule I've ever seen. That's what happened last year. People said, oh, my God, Georgia plays Oregon. Then they don't even have to show up again until Halloween. And what happened? They almost got beat in that stretch because they bought into that idea. The team bought into the narrative that, oh, Georgia's going to win these next 6 games by 50 points, and they didn't play great. Stetson Bennett didn't have a touchdown pass for 3 games in a row. Brock Bowers disappeared. We were trailing Missouri until 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Kent State looked like they actually belonged on the field with us, which they don't. So, Georgia will be huge favorites in every game they play. Georgia will be a favorite even at Tennessee. I don't know about a huge favorite, but they'll be a favorite there. But if they come, so it's always it's always possible that Georgia can lose a game or two. But when you just look at who they're playing, the rosters, who's coming back, all that kind of stuff, Georgia's going to be a significant favorite again in every game they play. And it's a sleepwalk schedule, especially the first month of the season. We play 3 group of 5 teams and South Carolina. That's our first 4 games. It's a joke. It's a joke. But after winning their first national title, it was, I think we'll all admit, what games did Georgia look really good in?
Oregon,
Yep.
South Carolina.
Yep.
Okay.
Tennessee.
The national champ. Yeah, Tennessee, LSU, TCU. Yeah.
Yeah. Every game that people said Georgia had a chance of losing, Georgia looked their best.
Right. Vandy. Yeah.
But Mizzou, Kentucky, Kent State, I mean, they just, and that was after winning 1 national title. Now they've won 2 in a row. It's possible they show up like that and get beat by a South Carolina or a whatever, fill-in-the-blank team. I mean, I don't think they will, but it's possible. So I hear a lot of people saying, oh, Georgia going 12-0. They probably will. They're better than all 12 teams they play, but it's hard to win one national title. It's even harder to win two. It's almost impossible to win three, as proven by the fact that it hasn't happened in 90 years. No one's won three natties in a row in 90 years.
When was the last time it happened?
The 30s.
Okay. And do you know who it was?
Minnesota.
Okay.
And back then, that was pre-AP poll. There wasn't even an AP poll back then. So you've got multiple teams that claimed national titles for all 3 of those years. But Minnesota claims national titles for 3 years in a row. So I haven't gone back and I can't tell you what Minnesota's record was all 3 of those years. I don't know if they were undefeated and so they have a legitimate claim, or if it's an Alabama deal where they're claiming titles when they lost their bowl game. I have no idea. But
right.
But they're recognized. Minnesota is recognized as the only team to win 3 natties in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, Minnesota has like a bunch of natties, but I think like their last one was like in the 50s.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Our schedule is really bad just because the East is really bad also.
So I guess that makes them a blue blood, right?
Yeah. Now, look, people, there's nothing Georgia can do about how good or bad the teams are that they have to play. There's nothing Georgia can do about that, right? There's nothing Georgia can do about the fact that Georgia Tech is in the toilet. I mean, the reality is Georgia Tech is an in-state Power 5 team. Whether they're the worst Power 5 team or the best Power 5 team, we got to play them. Georgia Tech didn't cry about playing Georgia in the 90s.
Oh.
Because Georgia Tech was the better program, especially the first half of the 90s, than Georgia was. So these things go back and forth. You know, Tennessee fans that spend half their waking hours crying that they've got to play Alabama and Georgia doesn't. You weren't crying in the late 90s and early 2000s that you had to play Alabama because Alabama was terrible. You know, you don't get to change your schedule around and cry about it just because one team or another happens to be good or bad during some particular stretch. Alabama and Tennessee is a rivalry game. It needs to be played every year, and it's going to be played every year. Whether both teams are top 10 programs, neither teams are top 10 programs, or one or the other is. Crying about it's not going to do any good. I mean, Georgia's got to play Auburn every year. If Auburn suddenly becomes a top 10 program year in and year out, are we supposed to then sit around and cry that Tennessee doesn't have to play Auburn? You'll never catch me doing that. You have to play the teams your conference tells you have to play. There's nothing you can do about it. What you can do about it is not cancel the Oklahoma game. That's what you can do. And the SEC made them do it thing is bullshit. The SEC can't make you do anything in the non-con. Nothing. They can't make you schedule a Power 5 team or not. They can't do anything. They have no control. There is no SEC rule about what you have to do in the non-con. There's not a real rule. There's not a written rule. There's not a pretend rule. The Big Ten has a pretend rule. The Big Ten has a completely made-up, fake non-con scheduling rule. The SEC doesn't have that. The Big Ten has this rule that you don't have to follow. Well, then that's not a fucking rule, dummy. The Big Ten has a rule that you have to play at least one non-con Power 5 team. It's a rule. It's written down. Find me Michigan's Power 5 non-con game last year. Find it this year. You can't.
Nope.
Same thing. So the SEC has no authority to tell Georgia who to schedule or not in the non-con. So this idea that the SEC made Georgia cancel the Oklahoma game is just not true. If Georgia wanted to go play on the road at Oklahoma in week 2, they could have still done it. Now, I've been dogging teams like Tennessee and Ohio State for canceling big games. Now it's Georgia's turn. Georgia did the same thing. I understand why Ohio State canceled the Georgia series, but the fact is they canceled it. It's their fault. I understand why Georgia canceled the Oklahoma series, but Georgia canceled it. It's their fault. And there ain't a soul in here that can look me in the face and tell me Oklahoma would beat Georgia in 2023. I don't care that it's in Norman. It could be on the moon. So that makes it even worse that we canceled that game. Now, here's the thing. People are saying, oh, Georgia canceled the Oklahoma game. Their schedule's terrible. Even if we didn't cancel the Oklahoma game, and what, we show up in Norman and beat them 35-10, are people going to give Georgia credit for that, Vic? No.
No.
What would they
Well,
say? Look at Lou bragging about beating a terrible Oklahoma team. So I don't understand why y'all are dogging on Georgia for canceling the Oklahoma game when Georgia could show up in Norman and win by 50, and you'd be saying the same things in the comments section as if we played Ball State. Look at Lou. Look at him. Look, bragging about beating a terrible Oklahoma team. SEC canceled the game. No, it's bullshit. The SEC can't cancel a non-con game. That's a talking point. That's a talking point the SEC put out to make Georgia feel better about canceling that game. Yeah. The SEC can't make Georgia schedule or unschedule a non-con game. They have no authority. They have no say-so at all. None.
No.
Zero.
No.
What should have happened, you know what the SEC does have control over? Conference scheduling. You know what the SEC should have done? The SEC should have said, okay, Georgia's got a non-con game scheduled at Oklahoma in 2023, 2 years before Oklahoma joins the SEC. Oklahoma's return trip to Athens isn't scheduled until 2029. Well, by that time, Oklahoma's in the SEC. So Georgia should have canceled that home game in 2029, played the non-con road game this year, and then the SEC should have immediately came out and said the first year Oklahoma's in the SEC, they're playing on the road in Athens. That's what should have happened. It's an easy fix. Georgia could have chose to keep its non-con game on the road in Norman for this year with an assurance from the SEC that Oklahoma's first year in the SEC would include a road trip to Athens, and then Georgia could have canceled the back end of the Oklahoma home and home in Athens in 2028 or 2029, whatever year it's scheduled. Problem solved. Georgia could have had a non-con game this year, and Oklahoma could have been forced to play on the road because the SEC can force Oklahoma to play on the road once Oklahoma's in the SEC. They can force them. You're going to play in Athens in 2025, the first year you're in the SEC, period. Thank you. Have a great day. But they didn't do that. They canceled both games, and then and now Georgia's playing Ball State or whatever the hell else they're playing. A bunch of nobodies. And I don't like say, look, these season ticket holders should be madder than me. Yet another reason why we need to get that fucking game out of Jacksonville, too. What game are you excited about as a season ticket holder? I'm seriously asking. South Carolina? Really? You're propping you donated thousands of dollars to the university and then sent in your ticket money for a week 3 home game against South Carolina? Bullshit. Bullshit. What a waste.
Yep, sometimes it be that way.
I can tell you right now, there's a 0% chance I'm going to a Georgia home game in this year. 0. There ain't one worth going to.
No.
0% chance.
Yeah, my headphones died, so.
That's good, isn't it, or no?
No.
Oh, okay. How are you hearing me without headphones?
Oh, I'm just hearing you through the computer.
Bluetooth?
What?
Nothing. I don't know what I'm saying.
Just through the computer speakers. Yeah.
I should cut that part out of the show where I just rant and rave like that about Georgia and upload it as a video on the regular channel.
Yes, you should.
I haven't pissed off the Georgia fans in a while. Yeah, I think Georgia hates its season ticket holders, honestly. I really do. They keep scheduling these week 1 non-con games. That's taking away a home game.
Right.
They play Florida and Jacksonville. That's taking away a home game every other year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Georgia cares about its season ticket holders. There's no Wi-Fi in the stadium.
There we go.
They won't put scores of other games up on the scroll in the stadium.
Nope.
I think Georgia hates its season ticket holders.
Yeah, I guess so.
No Wi-Fi. Yeah. Try using your cell phone at Sanford Stadium. Good luck with that.
It doesn't work.
Doesn't work. You're lucky if you can send a regular text message and make a phone call, maybe.
Yeah.
But I have an app on my phone. There's no way this app is a bunch of data. It's literally nothing but a list of scores. I can't even pull it up in Sanford Stadium. I mean, it's insane. They're operating. They got 19. I mean, I don't know what they got. AOL. I don't know what kind of internet. I mean, I know what it is. It's 100,000 people in one place trying to use the same 2 or 3 cell phone towers. But other places have figured this shit out. Not Sanford Stadium. I guess they got to send out a donation letter. Hey, we know you donate thousands of dollars every year so you can get season tickets to terrible home games. And we know you donate thousands of dollars to the doorknob fund every year so we can build more weight rooms for the women's tennis team. And we know you donate thousands of dollars a year to NIL collectives so that the fans can pay the salary of the players instead of the school paying it. And we know we bring in $100 million a year in TV revenue, but we're still going to need you to send in another $1,000 this year if you want to be able to use your cell phone in the stadium so we can put up our own towers on the stadium. It's just the whole college football payment structure model is so ass backwards, it's insane. Imagine Arthur Blank sending you a letter, Vic, saying, look, it's a possibility that Lamar Jackson could be traded and we want him.
Mm-hmm.
Send us $1,000 towards his salary so we can try to get him. I mean, what are we doing here? This is what are these schools doing with all this money?
I don't know.
They're not upgrading facilities with it because every time they upgrade a facility, they send out a donation request with a goal. We need $10 million donation so we can upgrade the sauna room. People send the money in. They upgrade the sauna room. You know, now you got the collective sending you money. Hey, this is the Athens Classic City Collective. Don't you want this 9th grade quarterback, Juju? Well, you better start donating now.
Right.
So we can pay his salary so the school doesn't have to do it.
Right. Right. Yeah. I've got some thoughts on those NIL collectives and pay for play and promising kids millions to come to your school. I think that all this stuff should not be allowed. That you should not be allowed to promise money to recruits or have NIL collectives to pay the players. They should be getting actual NIL, and not until
It should be paid for a commercial or endorsing a shoe.
There you go. For endorsing products to be in commercials, for clothing and merchandise.
I mean, at least Stetson Bennett goes to Raising Cane's twice a year and slings chicken nuggets for an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that NIL collectives and the promise of millions of dollars, to me that's not NIL. I don't like
it's not. And then you look at Florida
buying players.
Not only is Florida doing that, they're promising money they don't have. They're having high school kids sign contracts to get money that they don't even have. Then it comes time to pay the kid and they don't have the fucking money. What a disaster. I love the Notre Dame UGA series. Yeah, and unbelievably, it was home and home. Mind blown. They didn't play it, they didn't play it in St. Louis for no fucking reason. They actually played it in Athens and in South Bend. I mean, it's just a novel idea. Hey, what if we schedule a series with Notre Dame, but we actually played a game on campus?
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
That's a good idea.
What a weird idea.
Well, it's just that I don't have a problem with NIL. I like NIL. I would just prefer that it was actual NIL. Don't have a problem. Don't have a problem with them making money. It's just they need to, not be promised money before they even enroll. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. And then you don't know what's real and what's not. I mean, all you got to do is look at what the fans say to figure that out. Georgia gets a player from the transfer portal. Oh, look at this guy. He really wants to win. He wants to be a part of a team. He loves the Georgia way. We lose a player to the transfer portal. Oh, Texas is tampering. They're dropping a bag. You have no idea. How do you know? You don't know. You just think everything, Georgia good, other team bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a Frankenstein, fire hot, water wet, Georgia good, other team bad.
Other team bad. Yeah. Also, I feel like tampering should not be allowed either. They should not be allowed to entice players to hit the transfer portal.
And who has done that?
I don't know. Well, there's only rumors, and accusations, but
Right. That's what I'm saying. So how do you know?
so I know that Pitt fans were accusing Southern Cal of tampering with Jordan Addison.
Okay. Well, Ohio State fans accuse Georgia of recording their practice.
Yeah.
So are both things true because fans made the accusation?
No.
Oh, okay. I was just checking. Because I wasn't aware. I have to make a birthday video today for a 13-year-old bar mitzvah type individual.
Okay.
Not for public consumption, just to send to his parents because I'm a nice guy.
Okay. All right. Well, that's that's really nice of you.
Yeah. I have to do something for DraftKings too today. Also, you know how everybody always accuses other people of copying me?
Uh-huh.
Can I copy someone?
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Okay, I want to do a superlatives video.
Okay, sure.
Everyone's already done that over the last 2 or 3 weeks, but I want to do it too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be copying whoever that you want to accuse me of copying, whether it's Pigskin Pete in the ACC show or Carolina Jackpot in the Rob and Kale show,
Right.
or any of the other dozens of shows that have done 2022 season superlative videos. I want to copy one of those people.
Right. Well, I don't think that anyone owns the rights to season superlatives. So.
Okay. No, I don't agree with that SEC football. Now, it would not be it wouldn't be the most shocking thing I've ever seen if Florida State finishes in the top 5. But I do not think they have earned a preseason top 5 ranking. Yeah, I've done superlative videos almost every single offseason. I just know how the internet is. If anyone else does a video and then someone else does it, they're copying that person. It's like how people always say, like, no one can even, and I don't like this shit either. Anybody wears a backwards hat on YouTube, people tell them, oh, you're just trying to be Uncle Lou. Like I was the first person to put a hat on. Everything I've ever done on YouTube is copying someone else. There are no original ideas. We've talked about this before. Mankind has been around for ever. There aren't any original ideas. We're not inventing the wheel here. It's personality and specific content that separates videos. Everybody and their brother does call-in shows and live football shows. Some of them have 5,000 people watching, like Josh Pate. Some of them have 3 people watching, like Chess Hall.
Yeah.
But everyone does it. It's personality and the specific content that separates things, not the general idea. Oh, did you see such and such video? He had sunglasses on. Just wants to be like Uncle Lou. I only wear sunglasses because I saw other people doing it.
Yeah.
It's not, if you have a college football channel, there's only so many different things you can talk about. Everybody is talking about the same things. And it's not just college football. Take any genre on YouTube. Minecraft. All these people streaming Minecraft. They're all streaming Minecraft. Some of them have 1 million subscribers. Some of them have 10. They're all streaming the same thing. Why does one person have 10 million and one person has 10? Personality and the specific content of the video, not the general idea, dummy.
Yeah.
What is wrong with people?
Yet Shadowlack has a good analogy. He says, just because you take a dump and then I take a dump, I'm not trying to copy you. It's just how life works.
Yeah. Slim Shady drives a truck for a living. So does Raj. Who's copying who? One of them is copying the other, I guess. I don't know which one, but one of them is obviously copying the other. Look at Slim Shady Canes. Look at him. Look at him. Out here feeding his family by driving a truck. Boy, he thinks he's Raj, don't he? I don't understand people, man. I don't get it. Slim Shady Canes must think he's Raj. Look at him. Look. He's driving a truck. I mean, what are we doing? BVD's copying you, Vic.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He's in it because he has a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did BVD have a wheelchair before he knew you? No.
No.
He's copying you.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. I don't get it. I'm going to make a cup of coffee and calm down. Or do you want me to end the show? Do you got to go? You've had enough or what?
No, it's okay. I'll take over the show for a little bit.
All right, I'll be right back. I got to calm down and make a coffee.
Okay, sure. Yeah, good morning, Cody. First time hearing me. Why, I'm VIKTUBE. Do I watch baseball? Sometimes. Yeah, I'll watch, Yeah, I'll watch the Braves sometimes. Do I watch the Hawks? Sometimes, yeah. Yeah. Good morning, K Dog. Yeah, why is everyone staying in South Carolina? Yes, that's right, Law Tide. It's for the slobs. Yeah, so I'm gonna be staying at the Seaside Inn. Yeah, on the Isle of Palms. Yeah. Yeah, Golden Blue dude hates being a West Virginia fan right now. Yeah, I'll bet you do. Yeah, no, it's not easy being a West Virginia fan. So yeah, Cody is enjoying my NFL playoff videos. Yeah, thanks, Cody. Yeah, the Hawks are trading Trey Young. I think. Yeah, I have heard that. I think that's a terrible idea. Yeah, that would be a terrible idea. Oh, the name of my channel is VIKTUBE Productions. Yeah, you're right. Atlanta teams are known for making boneheaded moves when it comes to drafting and trading. That's right. Yes, I booked my room. Yeah. Yes, the Slob Olympics is definitely beer friendly. Who do I have in the winning Super Bowl? Oh, the Bills. Yes, the Bills.
The Bills. No, wait a minute. That's not right. It's the Bears. Bills, Bears. The Bucks. Nope, not the Bucks. They're eliminated. The Broncos. No, they didn't even.
No, not the Broncos.
They didn't even make it.
They're not even in the playoffs.
They didn't even make it. So the Bills. Oh, the Bears.
Nope.
The Bears.
Nope. Nope. The Bears are a dumpster fire.
Yeah. The Browns.
Nope. But they're not as bad as the Broncos or the Bears. But
the Browns.
okay.
Damn it, I was a little bit too late. Tried to get a Mama VIKTUBE sighting there. You bamboozled me, Vic. Cut the camera off on me there.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get you up in time.
Yep.
All right. We got to end the show. Nate's mom just came in and yelled at him. I mean, Vic's mom just came in and yelled at him. We got to end the show. I tried to get it up on the screen in time for y'all to see it, but we missed it. But unfortunately, Vic's mom just came in and yelled at him. He has to do his chores and that.
Sure.
And he can't waste any more time on the internet this morning, she said. So, Vic, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Now, is it true that you have to get off the show now to go get your glasses fixed?
Yeah, I get
Vic, you fell asleep wearing your glasses, didn't you?
No, it's not. No, that's not what happened. What happened was I was taking them off and they broke. Yeah.
Vic, I've taken off glasses millions of times. They don't break by just taking them off.
Yeah, I know, right? That's the weird thing about it. Yeah.
Vic, I'm not your mom. I'm not going to get mad at you. You can tell me what really happened.
No, that's what really happened. I just told you exactly what happened.
No, I know what you told your parents. I know what you told your parents.
When I was taking them off.
No, I know that's what you told your parents, Vic. I'm asking you what really happened. You fell asleep wearing your glasses again, didn't you?
That is literally what happened.
You fucked around and found out, didn't you? That's what happened?
That is literally what happened.
Somebody slapped the shit out of you.
And they broke.
Somebody slapped the shit out of you while you were wearing those glasses. You was fucking around, and they made sure you found out.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Vic. It was fun. I had a good time today. This was I feel like this was one of our better shows in a while. I had fun today.
Yeah. This was a good show. We got not one, but two rants. Out of this stream. So.
Yeah. Can't beat that. Start the day off on the right foot. All right, buddy, man. It was good to see you. We will see you. You doing your show tomorrow night at 6?
Yes, I'll be doing my show tomorrow night at 6, and also I'll be doing my game show with Alan A at 9. So
yeah, which there'll be like 3 people watching that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you at 6 though.
Okay.
I'm going to say no on the 9 deal.
Okay.
All right. I don't play games.
Right. Yeah, I know.
I'm serious. I'm a serious individual.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have time for games.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Vic, I do appreciate you coming on today, buddy. Can't wait to do it again next week. Y'all make sure you check out VIKTUBE over on his channel. He does do a live show every Friday night at 6 p.m. So make sure you check him out. VIKTUBE, VIKTUBE. Just type that in your YouTube search bar. He'll come right up. All right. Guess we got to get out of here. Microphone broke his glasses. Said that Stingray. Appreciate y'all tuning in today. We had our official college football YouTuber association meeting, and it is my turn to take a break from YouTube. Y'all know we do this during the off season. We take turns taking a break from YouTube. If you've been around a couple of years, you know what we're talking about. But it's Uncle Lou's turn to take a break from YouTube. Yep. So no call-in show tonight, and no mustard chew tomorrow. I won't be back live until Sunday at 6 o'clock for the playoff games. For the NFL playoff game. And that'll be on the Patreon page. Okay, then? Okay, then? Okay, then. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Have a great weekend. And I hope to see y'all again real soon. Have a good morning.